So we've got Clive's Atom 80. Step up. It feels nice and light.
The wind's back in the right direction now, but
I better go quick. So cheers, Clive, for letting me borrow your personal Atom 80. Yeah, the climb rate is not brilliant. Okay, full power, fully trimmed out. I am climbing Bruntingthorpe Airfield. Check it out. This is Bruntingthorpe Airfield, opened by the RAF in 1942 and hosted the RAF and the United States Air Force. It was also used to conduct a test to study the effects of a terrorist-planted bomb. Listen to that. This is cruise. I'm cruising with the Dudek Uni, Trimps 3 on the Atom 80. Just totally feels like I'm floating. There is Leicester. Well, this is very pleasant. Super stable wing with a very, very efficient purring motor. Just chilling out. So where the Monster shines is if you need to get over hedges and stuff. If you're being a bit of a dick as a paramotor pilot. Risky paramotor pilot is probably a better way to put it. The Atom is more of a cruiser. Which is mainly what I do. The thing is, it sends you to sleep because you're just chilling out so much, just nod off. I honestly feel like I'm just floating along this big boaty wing and this tiny engine. This thing just purrs like a cat. In the grass.
Whoa. What did you think?
I thought it was great. So, climb rate is fine.
Oh, really? Because my thoughts when he got off, I was looking at it and I said, that man's had too many poise.
It's not a monster. Let's put it that way.
But
it's not a monster. So I went fully trimmed out on the Uni. The Uni's got a really, really big trim range.
Yeah.
So fully trimmed out. I could still climb.
Yeah.
But it was slow. It was slow. Fully trimmed in, the climb was okay, I thought.
Yeah. So with the Monster, when you're fully trimmed out, does that still climb like a good one then?
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Even with speed bar, I can climb.
Right.
Really, really quiet.
It was quiet, yeah.
Much quieter. Oh, the other thing with you probably don't have this problem, but on the Monster you have the jets, low and high jet.
Yeah.
When you do a linear pull on the throttle, at one point it will stop giving power, and then after a while, then it will deliver the power later.
Yeah. So the Monster has like a power band, like
so when you've got cruise control, I can't maintain level flight very well.
Right, because it just won't sit.
Because it won't sit in because I'm the wrong weight for the wing or whatever it is. So that's not ideal. But this has got a really nice linear power band. So I'm thinking for cross countries, this is really good. You know, for dicking around, going up into the clouds and mucking around with your mates for half an hour, the Monster's good. So I don't know. I'm tempted to buy one. Very tempted. I didn't come down here expecting to buy a paramotor, Nigel. So after testing the Atom for about an hour, I decided to take the Monster up just to compare to see the difference, and it easily got up to 3,000 feet to get to this balloon. think the Atom would have struggled to get up there on full power the whole time, which isn't good for it. So the Monster is good for this kind of flying, and the Atom is better for just the cross-country style. It's up and down fast, isn't it? Jesus. He shot up like a rocket and dropped like a stone. Amazing. But forget climb and drop rates on balloons can be quite amazing, actually, compared to a trimmed-in Dudek Universal. Anyway, back on the Monster. So, decision time. Do I buy an Atom 80? He's down at the ground already. Incredible. I'm still at 2,000 feet. Do I buy an Atom 80 or not? I'm in two minds. It's a lot of money. But this is my passion and my hobby. 2.6 litres an hour. It's pretty crazy. I've never got that before. It's 8:45, 22 degrees C. Perfectly warm. Warm hands. Been up to 3,000 feet. Sun shining. Calm as anything. So I bought a new toy. Here she is. Bulldog Atom 80. So it's only got 1 hour on it so far. Winds are calming down, just going to go out for half an hour. Time is 8:30 in the evening on the 26th of June. So we're going to take the Bulldog up, the Atom 80, and see how she performs. Clear prop. Okay, Nucleon XX, Atom 80. So my second flight on the Atom 80. Second flight on this Atom 80. It's actually my third ever on an Atom. Slightly longer takeoff run, but not by much, to be honest. Not quite sure how much. I'd need to dial that in. But fully trimmed out on the Nuke XX. Still climbing. So that's good. I haven't tried speed bar yet. I haven't got a speed bar fitted to this Paramotor just yet. Welcome, 3 litres per hour. So the first flight I did, I was getting just under 3 litres per hour. I get 4.5 on the Monster. So why did I go for the Atom 80? So I've done 500 hours on my Monster, and it's still going strong. Really, really good motor. Loads and loads of power, but I think I'm slightly light on it actually now. I weigh 77 to 78 kilos on the Monster, and when I have the off-grid cruise control throttle, which I got from South Coast Air Sports, it's great, but on the Monster I just can't get straight and level. The only time I can is with a bit of speed bar, when I'm in the high part of the revs. So I'm either climbing or descending. I just cannot get it in the middle. So that's one of the reasons I've gone for this. The other is the fuel burn. It's easier to start. It has a poor climb rate compared to the Monster. That's the only downside I can see so far. One is the takeoff run, maybe. So taking off and climbing, slightly more difficult, but lower vibration, slightly quieter, although not that much quieter actually. And the linear power band and good fuel consumption
are reasons I chose it. I've got both now, so I'm going to keep the Monster for balloon chasing and dicking around. Still a place for that. But for cross countries, where you're just cruising along, this is the machine to get for my weight anyway. So I'm still climbing and fully choked out actually, and I'm nowhere near full power. We're interested to see what happens with speed bar. Shiny! So, looking forward to some big adventures. So with 3 litres an hour and a 17 litre tank, theoretically I could do a 5-hour flight. So watch out for that in the this year. Maybe I'll do a 5-hour flight. Need to make sure I go to the loop before that one.
That's actually a nice landing for once. Clive and Chili both said to me 3 years ago, oh, you should try an Atom. And I did try one when I was 10 kilos heavier than I am now, and it was a bit slower to climb. I didn't like it, so I went for the Monster. But now I've worked out my style. My favourite style is long cross countries. This is perfect for that. So, Atom 80, what's my verdict? Really like it. As I said earlier, good fuel economy, lower vibration, smooth power band, and lighter on your back, easy to start. Starts full pull every time. Mind you, I could do that with a Monster when I first got it. And enough power. The takeoff run is slightly longer, and the torque is the opposite way. Because of the gearing, the prop is spinning the opposite direction, so it does pull to the left instead of pulling to the right. I didn't think it would have as much torque, but it does. It does have some torque on the Bulldog anyway. It's the 7th of July. Got up at 5:30. 7 a.m. now. Little Granston Airfield. We have an unfavourable wind direction, so I'm having to walk to the runway. Flying the Atom 80 today, launching into rotor from these trees a little bit. So planning to do takeoff, slight right turn down this runway, circle round and then off to the south. It's all looking fine. So run towards the trees, right hand turn. So as you can see, the Hadron 3 and Atom 80 combination does require quite a longer takeoff run. As you can see, almost took out that windsock. Still not climbing above tree level, and eventually the wing does get some altitude. So this is not the motor to use if you want to fly with your mates to a barbecue. Did a video on Hokey Smokey. We all flew to a barbecue, so if you want to see that, have a look in my other videos. That was an epic adventure. The Atom is definitely not suited to that. But for pootling long distance cross country flights, it's absolutely perfect. The other thing is you need to be mindful about climb rate, so those trees in the distance there, just plan ahead so that you're not caught out and going into the trees.
24 miles an hour. If I go up to 50 feet, I'll lose 5 miles an hour.
So this flight here was about 2 hours long down to Hertford and Welling. This is Digswell Viaduct. So at the time of recording, the motor's kind of broken in now. It's got about 10 hours on it. So I should be able to push longer flights. So I've just been gradually increasing the flight duration.
I need to get off the damn runway before anyone shouts. Bloody long walk. Yeah, good, yeah, down to Hertford.
So I hope you enjoy that. I hope it was informative. And if you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button, and hopefully I'll get a 5-hour flight in at some point this year. So stay tuned for that.